Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Diego and my beautiful wife, Karina from Venezuela, Caracas, Venezuela. Caracas, a beautiful city that was destroyed by two earthquakes, unfortunately, and the Venezuelan people are very strong, so they are putting it back together slowly. They are very resilient. Now, welcome to the channel. This is your K1 Visa Green Card channel. I give you all this free advice. I have 14 years almost experience processing K1 visas and green cards. 14 years. I've helped hundreds of people get their green cards, etc. But I'm not an immigration attorney, and I don't give you any legal advice, and I do not work for USCIS. Although maybe I should. Maybe they should hire me because I know how to do this process in my sleep. If you have any questions, if you're having any stress, if you're worried about your K1 visa, your green card, just jump on the channel here, jump on, ask me what it is that is bothering you. Maybe there's a question that I can help overcome. If you have received a denial for your K1 visa, remember there's always a way to overcome that. If you are within 30 days of the denial, you can file a request to reopen the case, but you got to do it within 30 days, and immigration will take a second look and see why it is they denied your green card. So if you have received a denial, please don't have a panic attack. Jump on here, ask me what it is, tell me what happened, what's in the letter, what's in the denial letter, or if you are a member of the channel, you can screenshot it to my cell phone, and I will try to fix it for you. I've fixed a lot of green cards and K1 visas that have been denied. You know, I fixed it. It's broke, I fix it. If I can, if it is within my realm of knowledge and ability, I will fix it. Usually it's a silly mistake, and I'll point it out to you, and you can correct it. Now, those countries, 75 countries that were being blocked by Marco Rubio, our Secretary of State, from being adjudicated for green cards, that block has been finally completely overthrown, vacated in the technical term. The legal term is vacated. In other words, a Catholic group, a Catholic charity, I believe, sued Marco Rubio and said, hey, dude, you don't have the authority to block green card adjudications at embassies. You don't have that authority. This was put in place by the Congress of the United States of America, not one person appointed by President Trump to sit in the Secretary of State's office on the 7th floor in Washington, D.C. Okay? So that block has now been completely overturned, and those green cards will now start being issued, adjudicated, etc., to those folks from those 75 countries, which includes Colombia. Now, I lived in Colombia for 3 years with Karina, and I got friends in Colombia. Karina's got friends in Colombia. There's no issues with the people of Colombia. But this was an attack on American citizens, not so much foreign nationals. Marco Rubio said American citizens couldn't financially support their beneficiaries, which was absolute BS, okay? The consular officer makes that decision at the embassy interview. The consular officer will look at your tax returns, your tax transcripts, your I-134, the Declaration of Financial Support, all of the evidence that you provided to get the green card approved is what the Congress has put in place for adjudication. Not Marco Rubio saying, well, I'm going to block green cards from these 75 countries because President Trump doesn't like these 75 countries. It's all BS. A federal judge tossed it. A federal judge in New York City vacated it, which is the final order. And Ricky Robinson, hello, Diego and Karina. I look forward to your help. I'm going to help you, Ricky. Okay. Try to relax. I know what you're going through. We're just waiting on that letter. And then when I read it, now Ricky's a member of the channel and he has my cell number. So he texts me and calls me and emails me whenever he wants to. Remember, I'm open 7 days a week. Members of this channel can contact me 7 days a week. You don't have to be trying to call immigration attorneys, spending $400 for a phone call. You can just give me a call or send me a text as a member, excuse me, and I will help you. I have the knowledge, okay? I've been doing this for a long time. Maybe I should become an immigration attorney. Nah, I don't think so, because then I have to go to law school and take the bar exam and do all that stuff, and I'm just past all that. But I did go back to school and get my real estate license, so I have reactivated my real estate license here in the great state of Florida, and that contained a lot of real estate law. I had to be a lawyer to understand that stuff, but I got through it, passed all the math questions, and here I am, a certified, qualified real estate agent waiting for a broker. If a broker wants to hire me, I'll go work with him, but I'm not in a big hurry. So green cards are now being approved, adjudicated, processed for those people from 75 countries. They're also, excuse me, they're also being approved and adjudicated for the people from 39 countries that USCIS acting director decided he wanted to block, which included Venezuela, where Karina's from. He has no such authority. Only Congress can change immigration law under the Immigration and Nationality Act. Only immigration can be changed by Congress. Okay? Guys, I told you that back in January when they started this malarkey, I guess is the word. And all this malarkey is being thrown into the trash can because it was illegal. Ricky Robinson, it's tough, man. I'm trying to relax. I thought I did and give everything they asked for. You did. You did everything you're supposed to do. I just need to see what was the reason on the letter for what happened. I just got to read that letter, and then I can get you on the right track to fix it. Okay? I'm telling you, I've helped people get through this. You're going to be okay, Ricky. Jairus, whoop, whoop. Hello, Diego and Karina. Jairus, what is going on, Jairus? Now, what's today? Today is what, Saturday? I don't even know what day it is. I'm being retired so long. I just know it's, Karina says, hey, it's Livestream day. Okay. I don't know what day it is. Today is Saturday, August 22nd, 2026. August is almost gone. And pretty soon it'll be September. And those folks who have K1 visas approved, pretty soon you're going to be getting your packet 3, packet 4 emails, etc. Ricky Robinson, I will check the mailbox and I will send you a copy of the letter as soon as I receive it. Yeah, as soon as I can. I just need to read the letter, Ricky. When I read the letter, I will then put you on the right path to fix whatever it is immigration said needs to be looked at. That's just all, try to relax. I know it's easy for me to say that, but I've helped people overcome these same things in the past. So, lucky for you as a member of the channel, you have my phone number, so I can step by step you through the process to fix it. Okay. Jairus, all is well. Hope the same for you both. Always. We are good. I got J-Rod here. He's our alien buddy from the Zeta Reticuli. Karina's got her Area 51 t-shirt on. And over here's the J-Rod files. I've been working on, that's the second YouTube channel that I put together. I've only got a couple of videos out there and they probably suck, but I'm working today. Today I was working on putting together a fantastic video for the J-Rod files. If you are interested in aliens and extraterrestrials and alien abductions, it's a channel for you guys. But this channel is about fixing immigration problems, okay? And we're going to fix it. President Trump, okay, wants to make America great again, but going after green card holders illegally in this country isn't the way to make America great again. Most of those people are business owners, married to American citizens. So, my recommendation is he go after illegal immigrants, keep on going after illegal immigrants, keep on deporting them, and leave American citizens' families alone. Unless, of course, they are a green card holder who is a criminal. We don't want any criminals in our great republic. green card holders or otherwise, even American citizens. We don't even want them here. But we can't get rid of those folks, unfortunately. But green card holders can be removed from the country if they're criminals. But if you've gone through the process, followed the rules, and just had a few hiccups, like you overstayed your tourist visa, it's going to be a problem for you. If you come to this country on a tourist visa and marry an American, you're not going to get your green card in the United States. You're going to have to go home to your home country, and your husband or wife will have to file Form I-130 and file for a spousal visa. Okay? Can't do it anymore. It used to be that you get away with it. People would come here on tourists, get married, and then apply, together their I-130 and their 485. They file it together to get their green card, and that's gone. That ain't happening anymore. So if you come to America as a tourist, you can get married to your American citizen sponsor if you want to, but you have to go home, and everything's going to have to be processed through consular processing. Your green card will be processed at the embassy, not by USCIS. And Ricky Robinson, thank you and Karina for all your help getting my beautiful fiance from Bogota, Colombia to the U.S. We're going to do it. We're going to do it, Ricky. We're going to get her here. Okay. But, just be patient. Remember, this is going to be, you're going to add a few more months to the process. But once I see that letter, once I read it, I'm going to tell you how to go about fixing the problem. Okay. You haven't lost anything yet. Okay. You'll be okay. I've fixed a lot of visas before. This is just one more. And Bogota, Colombia, we love our friends in Colombia. I lived in Bogota for 3 years. Back and forth, though. I was flying back and forth from Florida to Colombia. But it's not far. It's not a very long way, actually. I fly from Pensacola to Miami to Bogota. It takes about 8 hours, 9 hours with a layover in Miami. Or I'd fly from Pensacola to Houston to Panama, South America, or Central America, and then Bogota. That was an interesting route. Or I'd fly from Pensacola to Houston to Bogota. But I was getting to Bogota. Ricky, I feel embarrassed. No, you're not. What are you embarrassed about? You followed the rules. You've done everything right. Remember, this administration will look for any excuse, any reason to deny a green card or deny a K-1 visa. Okay? Somebody's messaging me. You got to understand, if you made a mistake in the process, they're not giving RFEs anymore. They're not giving people any chances anymore. If you file if you file for a green card, a 2-year green card, and you fill out the paperwork incorrectly, especially the 864 or the affidavit of support, if you mess up the affidavit of support, make some stupid mistakes in there, they're just going to deny the green card. There's no more RFEs, which is request for further evidence. There's no more fixing this and fix that. It's, you can't fill out the form. You made a mistake. We're going to deny the green card. But in your case, Ricky, I don't think you made any mistakes. Okay. I really don't think you made any errors. So I just need to see what the letter says so that I can get it fixed. Don't forget also, okay, you can also get married to this young lady in Bogota if you want to. And then you can come back to the United States and file for a spousal visa. You can do that. File the I-130. But first we have to see what it is immigration is telling you. Okay? That's what I need to see. And then I know how to fix it. And I'm pretty sure I'll be able to fix it. Try to relax, okay? Try to be calm, and everything's going to be okay. Joel Natty. Hi, Diego. Hi, Karina. Hi, Joel. What is going on? Now, where is Joel? Where are you from? Jairus, where are you guys from? We're here in the panhandle of Florida. It's 92 degrees outside, although it's been we've had some serious thunderstorms come in this week every night. Pretty serious, pretty heavy. And Karina's like, wow, these are tropical electrical storms we're having. Yeah, that's what they are. But it means I don't have to water the grass. So I'm saving money. So every time it rains, I don't have to spend money watering the freaking grass because I laid a whole bunch of new sod down because I was in Colombia for 3 years. The grass died. And so when I came back to the United States with Karina, I had to renovate the back garden. Ricky, thank you so much. I will try to relax. Yeah, Ricky, listen. The U.S. government, okay, Homeland Security, they're not going to block you from bringing your fiance to the United States. We've just got to figure out what the letter says so we can fix it, okay? And Jaris, I'm originally from Jacksonville, Florida. Okay, that's where I-95 connects, right? I-10 and I-95, Jacksonville. See, now Karina, she drove across. She's been to Jacksonville. We drove from Jacksonville to here on I-10, and then when we went on vacation, we were in Santa Monica, California. Karina got to drive on the end of I-10, because I-10 starts in Jacksonville and ends in L.A., Los Angeles. So Karina's driven in Jacksonville on I-10, and she's driven in Los Angeles on I-10. She's done front and back of it. And she was interested. It was interesting for her. She's like, wow, check it out. Joel, Natty, you guys be safe, please. I'm out here in the state of Missouri. Very good. The great state of Missouri. That's a great place to be right there. It gets cold in the wintertime, though. It gets pretty cold. So just to recap, those people from those 75 countries, those folks, you guys, okay, those green cards are getting adjudicated. Marco Rubio, bless his heart, he's just following orders from the White House. He doesn't have the authority to run immigration the way he thinks he can. That was a law put in place by the Congress, not by Marco Rubio. Okay, now Marco Rubio is doing a great job as our Secretary of State. And he's just following some orders coming out of the White House, which are getting overturned by federal judges because they're illegal. The divorced man online. Hey, okay. How can I get your help with bringing my love from Cuba to the United States? I feel like my case is on hold because of politics. The case is no longer going to be on hold. Cuba was on that list of blocked countries. It's been unblocked. It's insane. You are correct. It's not only is it insane, it's illegal. Thinking about marriage in Canada just to make the progress. You can do that, but if you've already have you filed a K-1 visa? Did you file a K-1 visa with USCIS? Did it get submitted to a service center? Probably California. Did California get it? Have they made any inroads? Have they made contact with you? Did they send you an NOA-2 letter or an NOA-1 letter? Where are you in the process? The divorced man online, where are you in the process with your fiance from Cuba? Listen, so long as she's never been a member of the Communist Party of Cuba, she's not going to have any problems getting to the United States. I got allergies, man. Oof. Remember, if you're from Cuba, it's on hold. No, it's not on hold anymore. A federal judge just said you cannot do this. You cannot put these on hold. So I'm not sure. What you need to do is contact USCIS and ask them, what is the status of your case? They sent you an NOA-1 letter, right? A notice of action letter 1. You got the NOA-1 letter where they took your money. Remember, the State Department and USCIS have been taking people's visa fees, taking the money and not processing the visas. Illegal. You're paying for a freaking service put in place by the Congress. They have to adjudicate whether you're from Cuba or Venezuela or Haiti, Morocco. I don't care which country you're from. As long as you qualify for the benefit, there's no issues in the application. They cannot put it on hold. They can't do that. Marco Rubio just got spanked by a federal judge and told him that, sir, you are not You do not have the authority to block those 75 countries. You have no authority to override the Congress of the United States. But you got to understand, Marco Rubio is just taking orders from the White House. Marco Rubio probably knows he can't do that, but he's a good follower, I guess, and he's doing what he's told to do. But communist Cuba is no longer a country placed on hold because a federal judge said you cannot do that. But you got to qualify for the benefit, and your fiance she must never have been a member of the Communist Party of Cuba. Okay? You're going to get, I mean, you filed for the K-1 visa. They took your money, right? They put it into the USCIS bank account. And a federal judge 2 days ago, I believe, or yesterday, said, you are going to adjudicate these frickin' visas, Mr. State Department, Mr. USCIS. There's no more on hold, pause. It's over. Okay? You're going to be okay. Divorce Man Online. You're going to be okay. As long as you qualify. Your income is good. Your fiance's never been a member of the Communist Party. Everything's good. You're going to be all right. But give it time, because Marco Rubio and USCIS, they're just recovering from getting their, backside spanked by federal judges. So give immigration time to get back into the routine of doing what they were told to do and have the authority to do under the Congress of the United States. You got it? Just be patient. Now, my wife's from Venezuela. So we filed for her 10-year green card, and they overturned that BS ruling on the 39-country block, which included Venezuela. She got her letter of extension for 48 months. She's good. People from Cuba, Haiti, Colombia, Brazil. There's a bunch of countries, primarily African countries. You're welcome to Divorce Man Online. Sharif Jallo. Hello, Diego. I'm in Arkansas, and I married a U.S. citizen, and we had a child together. And I filed my I-751 for 10-year green card. I got my extension letter with my expired green card. Very good. Now, Sharif Jallo, you must make sure that you put the extension letter with your 2-year green card, even though it's expired. Those two forms have to be married to each other, the green card and the extension letter. You put them together. Wherever you go, you carry those forms together. Okay? And you're good for another 48 months. And then during that 48 months, you will get adjudicated for your 10-year green card. Chopper Harley, they are holding extension letters, I-751s that were received in May. Why are they doing that? Did they run out of ink in their printers? They can't do that. They don't have authority to do that. The Congress of the United States says to USCIS, you will issue extension letters. They can't hold them. All right? This is insane. Like the previous person said. We're going to get it fixed, okay? The solution, yes, they said the printer broke. Well, when they say that the printer broke and they can't print I-751s, that they're on some kind of, I don't know, they need to get some medication. USCIS is a billion-dollar business. They can very easily get a printer and reprint I-751s. Okay? If I ran out of ink on this printer here in the office, I go to Walmart, I'll buy some more ink cartridges, and I get the printer going again. USCIS, it reminds me of when I was in Colombia with Karina. We were in the K-1 visa process, and We were trying. She was getting close to her K1 visa interview, and then all of a sudden, I came back to the United States, and I got an email from the National Visa Center saying that the U.S. Embassy in Bogota was closed to K1 visa processing because of COVID. Well, COVID had been long over with. COVID was gone. So I called Karina up and I said, hey, run down to the embassy or give them a call, find out what is the embassy closed and are they adjudicating K1 visas. So Karina called the U.S. Embassy in Bogota, spoke to a very nice lady. She gave the lady her receipt number and her passport number. And the lady said that she was in queue for her K1 visa, that nothing was closed in Bogota. They were just busy. This was in August of 2022 or 2023. Yeah, August of 2023. The embassy was just busy. But the NVC sent out a bogus email to me and everybody else with beneficiaries in Colombia saying the embassy was closed because of COVID, which was not true. So Karina gets on the phone, goes down to the embassy, and they say, no, we're just overwhelmed with work. And that Karina's K1 visa will be adjudicated in October, not in August. Even though they had it, they just were putting on hold. Then, lo and behold, in October, just like they told her, Karina was the embassy opened up again for K1 visa interviews. And then I jumped on the computer and I scheduled her K1 visa interview for November, right? It wasn't because of COVID. It was because they were busy. So I called the NVC up back when you could call them. And I set them straight. I said, why are you sending out bogus emails? Telling people, I mean, there's a lot of people who are engaged to Colombians. Karina's from Venezuela, but she was processing through Colombia. And they said it was an old email that they sent out. It was an accident. And now Chopper Harley's saying that the printer's broken, so they can't print I-751s. I mean, seriously, this is our U.S. government at work here? I don't know. I mean, they do the best, I guess. But Chopper Harley, at least you know you're going to get the I-751 here very soon. It won't be much longer. Ooh, excuse me. Living in Florida, I get so many allergies, guys. I mean, my nose is runny, my eyes are watering. And then when it gets to wintertime, it's cold and I can't stand the cold. So then I complain about the cold. But in the summer, I complain about my allergies. If you have any questions, I'm going to help you get through the process. I cannot wave a magic wand, but I know the solution to most of the problems that folks are having. Okay? I have a solution to the problems. If you want to call me on the phone, you can, but you just got to be a member of the channel to be able to do that. And I'm not saying I want your money. I'm not doing that because I want your money. I don't. But it's the only way I can keep track of who's got my phone number, because the phone number is attached to this YouTube channel, and I don't want to get any nefarious characters getting on here trying to, mess with the channel, which they do all the time. Not this channel, but other people's YouTube channels. Sheriff Jallo, thank you. I came through the K1 visa, then I got married in the United States, so I think I should be good with my extension letter and the expired green card. Yeah, you're good. But you got to keep collecting the evidence. Even though you filed for the 10-year green card, you must still keep collecting the evidence for U.S. citizenship and for the interview. When it comes time for your 10-year green card interview in a year from now, you may be asked to bring evidence of your tax returns. You probably will be asked to bring your tax returns, your tax transcripts. Still, you got to bring proof that you guys are still happily married, living together under the same roof. You got to bring proof to the interview that you are taking care of each other financially. Karina's working her day job. I'm doing the YouTube channel. We're all working, doing something. You just got to keep on collecting evidence, whether it's for your 10-year green card, for U.S. citizenship. Now remember, September 18th, the I-485, the application to adjust status, is going to change. There's going to be a new rule put in place about public charge. So September 18th is going to be a big change. So be ready for that. And in 6 months, I figure by December of this year or January of next year, it's going to be mandatory to file a lot of these benefits online. So be ready for that. Thomas, FPCNL. Hello, Mr. Diego and Karina. A friend married to a U.S. citizen and also now a citizen for the past 7 years was trying to bring her daughter with Gambia passport, was denied visa at Dakar, Senegal embassy. A U.S. citizen was denied his daughter or her daughter a visa in Senegal. What kind of visa were they applying for? A tourist visa? A family-based visa? What kind of visa was it? Tell me what kind of visa it was, and I can probably give you a solution to that problem too. The Divorce Man Online. How do I become a member? Well, down here somewhere, there's a join button, and you just hit join. There's a join button. You can hit join, and then you can then YouTube will tell you how to join as a member. I guess it's $9.99 a month. It's very inexpensive. But if you join as a member, you go to the members only channel, and you can find my phone number and email address in the members only channel in that section. Look for how to contact Diego. Watch the video. It's about a minute long, and then you will get my phone number. Then send me a text and say, hey, it's the Divorce Man Online. I'm a member of your channel, and then I will save your number in the cell phone. And then you can reach me anytime you want. Thomas, it was a K2 visa. She was trying to bring her daughter with a Gambian passport on a K2. Well, why didn't she come in at the same time? For the past 7 years, he came through K2 visa trying to bring her daughter. Okay, but a K2 visa is only good for 12 months. A K1 visa is only good for 6 months. If somebody comes to the United States on a K1, the K1 visa is good for 6 months from the date of the medical exam. A K2 visa is good for 12 months from the date of the medical exam, because sometimes children need time to finish school. So immigration gives them an extra time on their visa. But if that time passes, then they're not going to get their visa. It's expired. So you have a friend married to a U.S. citizen, and that person is now a U.S. citizen. Is that what you're telling me? So the mother and the stepfather are both U.S. citizens. You got to file for an I-130 for the child as a family member. You cannot file for a K2. It's the wrong form. It was the incorrect visa. You got to file I-130. Okay? I-130, both family members are American citizens. Within 8 months to a year, that child will be in the United States. I don't care what passport they have. Thomas, he filed and was approved, but he timed out. He was approved by USCIS, obviously, but they're filing the wrong paperwork. If the person is now a U.S. citizen, okay, then you need to file I-130 for the child. The K2 is timed out. It's history. It's long gone. 7 years? It doesn't take 7 years to bring somebody to the United States. Okay? It doesn't. Only maybe unless it's an application for a brother or a sister. But filing for a daughter who is now, he did file the I-130. Well, then the daughter, it should have been approved. There's no reason to deny the visa. It was approved. Okay? So his I-130 was approved. Why did the so what you need to do, so what this person needs to do is file a lawsuit against the U.S. Embassy in Dakar, Senegal, because what they did was wrong. This will call for this is the time when you bring in an immigration attorney. Okay, now they could file a lawsuit themselves. They could do it themselves, but if they don't know how to file a federal lawsuit, if they're not sure how to do it, this would be the time you bring in an immigration attorney and have them check over. Oh, because now you're telling me because of the 75 countries. But it doesn't matter. The child is a daughter of U.S. citizens. It's irrelevant whether there was a block or not because of the status. You got to file a lawsuit against the embassy, okay, against the State Department. Get in touch with an immigration attorney and have that person file a federal lawsuit against the U.S. Embassy in Senegal, and I guarantee you that visa will get approved pretty darn quick. Okay? What they're doing is illegal. Marco Rubio put this in place. It was illegal. He's violating congressional law. Now, I'm not an immigration attorney, but I darn well know the process, and I know what he's doing was wrong. Even a first-year law student could have figured that out. So get an immigration attorney, get all the documents together, and drop a lawsuit against the embassy or against the State Department. Sue Marco Rubio for his violation of the Immigration and Nationality Act. Okay? That's what that person needs to do, the family. I know it may be a little expensive, but that's the solution, okay? Unless they want to do it themselves. They can do it themselves. They can file a lawsuit themselves without representation. But, in this case, I would be bringing in an attorney, abogado, para proceso. Okay? And then that child will get her visa. What they're doing is vicious, illegal, and a couple of days ago, a federal judge basically threw it all out and said, you can't do that, Marco Rubio. You have no authority to do that. So what Marco needs to do is concentrate on illegal immigrants, not breaking up the families of American citizens. And he just got spanked pretty hard by the federal judge. And all he's doing is following orders that's coming out of the Oval Office. That's all he's doing. So I don't know what Marco Rubio's political aspirations are in the future, but all this is going to come back and bite him on the backside if he decides to run for president. Remember, Marco Rubio's family came from Cuba. They relocated to Miami. Marco Rubio was born in Miami. But if President Trump was president when his family came to Miami, Marco Rubio wouldn't have been born in Miami. You know where he would have been born? In frickin' Havana. Divorced Man Online. Welcome to the channel, Divorced Man Online. Look at that. You got a blue circle and a black star. You are a member of the channel. I just joined your channel. I will need your thoughts on Cuba. Well, send me a text. Go into the members only videos. Look for the video that says how to contact Diego. Then send me a text message to the phone telling me who you are. I will save you in my phone, and then you can call me and text me, and you can also email me, and I will help you get through this process with Cuba. But what you need to do right now is try to relax, because it's only been a day and a half, 48 hours since the judge finally closed that unconstitutional attack on American citizens' families by the State Department. What you need to do is contact your fiance and tell her to make sure that she was never a member of the Communist Party of Cuba. Okay? No affiliation, no membership, nothing. Once you got that figured out, then we will get her to the United States. I will help you. Also, we're going to help our friend with his wife or fiance, excuse me, who was in Colombia, Bogota, being blocked, and he's got different issues, but everybody's got their own story, okay? And there's always a solution to the problem. I have the answers right up here, and I'm going to help you. Cuba, Colombia, wherever you're from. I don't care which country. You just got to qualify for the benefit, right? Now, the divorced man, you've been in a relationship with this young lady. Have you met each other in person? Hopefully you have, right? You've been dating each other. Karina and I, we dated each other for 3 years. I lived in Bogota with her. I was paying rent in Colombia, plus taking care of this house here. When we filed for Karina's K-1 visa, we overwhelmed immigration with so much evidence of our relationship. She got her green card in the mail in 3 months after she applied for her 2-year green card. It was mailed to our house in just about 3 months. And then President Trump came up with this bright idea that he was going to start overriding Congress and start jacking around with American citizens' families from 39 countries, 75 countries. Trump's mindset was for the best interest of our country, but what he was doing was going after American citizens' families. I am not going to bring somebody to the United States of America who I think is going to be bad. I'm not going to do it. And Marco Rubio and President Trump cannot step in front of me and make decisions for me. They can't do that. The Congress made sure that they don't do that. And that has been fixed by federal judges. Okay? But we just got to play it out now, wait it out. You got to give immigration time to get over their spanking. The judge put him in the corner with a decap on. Okay? And now these green cards are going to start getting adjudicated, whether you're from Cuba or Colombia or Haiti. But these are family-based green cards. I'm not talking asylum or DACA or F1 student visas or EB1 work permits. I'm talking K1 visas, K2 visas, family-based. Divorced man online. Since 2023, I have made 4 trips to Cuba. Very good. Cuba is a beautiful place. It's just unfortunate there's a communist government running the place. Communism doesn't work. I mean, if communism worked, then people from all these communist countries like Venezuela, who used to be communist, wouldn't be leaving the freaking country and moving south. 11 million Venezuelans left Venezuela for Colombia, Panama, Brazil, Chile, Paraguay, Peru, Bolivia. They got the hell out of there. Cubans have been trying to get to the United States for years. I can't blame them. And then you got family-based visas also. So you've made all these trips to Cuba. You're in a good relationship. You happily, you're in a happy relationship. You're going to get her K-1 visa. Even though everything is on hold, it's temporary. You just got to give immigration time to get over the spanking they just received from the federal judges and get the processes moving. But the person who's having issues with the I-130 with the daughter in Gambia, immigration attorney, sue the State Department, get the visa. It's expensive, but that's the solution to that problem. There's, they could do it. They could do it themselves. They could file the federal lawsuit themselves against Marco Rubio, but it's better in this case to get an attorney. Just my opinion. And Divorced Man Online, you've been to Cuba. Beautiful. It's a beautiful place. If Cuba wasn't ran by such incompetent communists, okay, then it would be used to be a great place, right? Back in the 50s, you could go to Cuba on vacation. Americans Cuba was prosperous. The hotel trade was prosperous. The tourism business was prosperous. And then the communists came in and destroyed it. Kind of reminds me of New York City right now. The communist has come into New York City, and he's trying to destroy that city. But the the folks in New York City ain't playing that game. They're getting sick and tired of him. I'm talking about Mamdani. They're getting sick of him. Okay, guys. Divorce Man Online, go ahead and go to the members only channel, look for my phone number, and send me a text message. Then that way I can save your phone number in the phone. And then that way when you text me with questions, I can help you. I got itchy. Okay. But my phone number is in the members only videos. We appreciate you joining as a member. Thank you for helping support the channel. Remember, I do this to keep you guys up to date on latest immigration news. Latest immigration news that I know of right now, September 18th, the adjustment of status form 485 is going to change. By December of 2026, you're going to be having to file a lot of forms, a lot of applications for benefits are going to be online, mandatory, including the N400 for U.S. citizenship. So when Karina, she gets ready to apply for U.S. citizenship, we're going to have to do it online. But Karina's eligible for citizenship in March of 2027. And she's studying. She goes English class. She's doing great. If you have any questions, and members, like I said, thanks for being members. We appreciate your support. Don't be shy to call me, email me, text me. Now, if you call me and I don't pick up the phone right away, it's probably because I'm busy doing something. So send me a text message first and say, hey, Diego, are you good to what are you up to? Ricky Robinson, you and Karina have a good rest of your Saturday. You should hear from me in the next few days with a copy of the letter. Send me the screenshot of that letter, Ricky, and I will then have the solution to fix that problem. And you guys have a great weekend. It's what, Saturday? I don't even know what day it is. Tomorrow's Sunday. You get to lie in, right? And I'll be back on Wednesday for the next live stream. And see you then, guys.